Hi, welcome everyone to the first episode of Yadav Show. It's my absolute pleasure to have today's guest with me. We're going to talk about innovation and creativity. And welcome to the show, Captain Nariwa.
Thank you,
Captain,
thank you.
yeah, Captain Nariwa is a director of Wealth IQ, TEDx speaker, and also innovation coach, international speaker, and design thinking professional from MIT. So it's an honor to have you in my show, Captain.
It's an honor to be in your show, Yadav. Lovely, lovely.
So, little introduction about yourself, Captain. Apart from what I said, a little bit about your background.
Right, okay. Hi, everybody. If you were to see Yadav is calling me Captain, you might be wondering what Captain is this. For your information, I was a ship captain before. I worked with MISC Petronas. It was the cargo ships. And I was sailing around the world for about 13 years. Prior to becoming a design thinking professional and innovation coach. I've been to 49 different countries while I was sailing. I've been through 6 continents. One of the continents still not yet go, which is the Antarctica, because there's no ports there. And I've been to 7 oceans because our cargo ships are ocean carriers, so we trans-ocean. That's what I've been doing all my life. And while I was on board ship, you see, the way that we solve problem on board ship and come up with ideas, we are in a situation, you like it or not, you have to solve the problem. You need to come up with your creative solution yourself. You cannot simply call everybody and say, please help me. We cannot do that. So I came from that kind of environment. And then I started a few shipping business and all. And right now, currently, I'm a trainer, like what Yadav told. I'm a trainer. I'm into leadership and innovation, basically into creative leadership, if I were to combine both of it, and also a lot about design thinking. As I'm working with few companies on consulting them to do products, process, system, and all these things. I've been trainer for the past 13 years, and I've already train about 200 companies, and I'm not just a Malaysian trainer. I'm doing also internationally.
That's absolutely amazing, Captain. That's absolutely amazing. So today's topic going to be about creativity and innovation. Yeah, and what is creativity? What is innovation? Yeah, and why always these two words come together? You know, whenever I do my research, creativity, I type on Google creativity and innovation. Creativity or innovation, why is tagged together? What is these two words?
Okay, talking about creativity and innovation, both are actually different, but we need to use both of this thing together. Okay, let me talk to you about creativity. First, let me talk to you about innovation. Okay, innovation is a process of combining or putting into few different ideas and put it together so that you come out with one product, services, or process that is useful for the market. Okay, so the key is useful. So that means you can simply, let's say you want to come out with an apps. Okay, now let's talk about the current apps like Grab. Okay, the Grab apps. It's an innovation thing where Grab didn't come in just like that with an invention. You must understand there's a difference between invention and innovation. Invention is something new that never have existed before, then people invent. So that is invention. So we put the invention aside because a lot of us no need to become an inventor. That one all done by the scientists and that kind of people, you see. We no need to become an inventor. What we need to become is an innovator. Innovator is you see the existing idea that is already there, okay? And grab that one, grab this one, put it together and come up with something new, probably something new also, but it is already existing there, put it together, and then make sure it is useful. Okay, now, Grab is like this, it has a map, correct? it has a platform that you can communicate with that other person. And also, you also have this thing called the payment system. What is that? It is just already existing. The map is already existing. The what we call the payment system already existing. So what these people did was they came up with a solution. How can I solve this problem? And they grabbed in all this element and put it together and make sure it is useful for people. Now, then what is creativity? Okay. When you're doing this, you will have problems. Okay. So you need to solve certain problems while you're dragging this thing in, putting this together. You might need to have some creative thought process for us to solve that problem. That is called creativity. Let me give you another example of creativity. You know, when you have some kind of, let's say you have a function at your house and you call everybody to your function and people are eating, and then people want to throw something to the dustbin and there's no dustbin. You know, some people will do what? They'll take the chair and then they will invert the chair and then they'll put the black color plastic bag. That's creativity.
It is fabulous.
Yeah, it's a process of an imagination that is already there to solve a particular problem. Now, a lot of people have this creativity to solve a lot of problems. Like at home, you can see wives and mothers when they are cooking, sisters when they are cooking, they will be solving some kind of a problem using their creative idea. Sometimes when they cook something wrongly, they cook right. They're very creative in turning that thing into something else. So that is the difference between invention, which is something new, innovation, existing idea, put it together to come up with a new design, and creativity is about solving that problem along the way using some certain techniques.
All right, that's absolutely amazing, Captain. Okay, now I think now we know what is innovation, what is creativity, but I want to know what motivate you to get into this space. Yeah, from a captain of a ship, and then it's totally two different things for me. I feel like captain of a ship, and now as an international trainer and speaker, and specifically in the niche of creativity and innovation. What is that one factor that that make you so passionate about? Just now you're sharing your information, these things, and I can see the passion is overflowing. Yeah, the passion is overflowing. What is that one factor that okay, this is what I want to do? Okay, this is the the space I want to get involved. What motivates you to get into this?
Okay, motivating me into the training industry was done by my best friend. His name is Suresh Kumar Dhawan. He's actually also a trainer and he's an EQ expert. Now, when I saw him, I see whatever he's doing. I also wanted to start something like this. We wanted to share ideas and all. So I started, but the problem is I don't know what is my niche. And the first program that I got on that day that Suresh told me that probably you can do this, Ariva. I think you'll be the right person. And the first program that I did in my life is called Critical Thinking. Oh my God, it's such a big program, So first of all, I didn't believe that I can do critical thinking because I never studied critical thinking as it is, because I'm a very hands-on expert on board ship. We are ship captains. We solve that kind of problem. Then he told me, go and find out what is critical thinking. And when I went and found out what is critical thinking, it is like, alamak, this one is everything that I do on board ship. These are the things, this is the mindset that we have on board ship. And I've been living for 13 years without knowing the terminology. and I've been solving so much of problems and coming up with so many solutions on board ship. So that is where, when I took up this critical thinking, it was so connected to me. And then there's so many decision making and creative problem solving I've done on board ship that is very crazy. And when I start talking about my real life example stories, I can connect back to this thing. So then I thought, let's get into this area and explore more. When I explore more, I can see that I can get into this innovation better rather than any other type of topics, because there is a lot of innovation I've already done on board ship with that limited things, so that the hands-on experience is already there. And that is why whenever I'm in the class, when I'm talking to people, and when they are stuck with the problem, immediately I can switch to a certain place and I can bring that example to coach them and counsel them. That's why I entered into creativity, not other things. That's my explanation.
All right. So, so basically, if let's say there's a problem, we need to have a critical thinking, yeah. And
all the things, critical thinking, creative thinking. You need to have all those things.
Okay. So, can we have one case study? What kind of, let's say, in a normal business environment, where this particular creative thinking we can apply?
Okay. So let's say we are coming out with a solution on redesigning your marketing methodology.
Fabulous.
A lot of people thought that creative thinking is only when you're solving problem and creating products. No, creative thinking can be used for every single process that you have. Okay. So let's say there is a process where you need to do certain marketing methodology. Rather than sitting down there and just designing something or using other people's methodology, you can actually scope and design your own marketing process. So first of all, you must understand what are the elements that you have in a marketing process. Probably you might have this process called getting awareness by the people. So you take out that awareness and sit down and measure your current methodology of creating awareness to people. Is it what level of what are the things that you use, and how impactful is your awareness? Now probably you can take one part of it. Okay, you want to create awareness of your product or whatever thing. You might be using certain channel, and you might be using certain methodology in doing that. And probably currently you'll be sending brochures and brochures and brochures. And why don't you sit down and push yourself and creatively come out from the brochure and go to video? Now, when you do video, there is this thing. Everybody are scared to create a creative video. They're very scared. They're very scared that they will come out with a video that is too what we call
out of the box.
Out of the box. Okay. Now, when you feel that means you're right.
Serious?
Yeah.
I think that's what stopped a lot of business. Yeah, okay, correct. I have this idea. Shall I do this? No, people going to comment something about this. Because then they hold back. Yeah. So that's where they have to really tap into, is it?
Yes. So creativity is where it's a process where you need to come out from your comfort zone and try something new. Okay, try something new. But when you're trying something new, you must understand there's a thing called boring. This boring is where everybody will go to. Why must you do boring stuff? You can do exciting stuff, but the problem with exciting stuff, it will hit where, it will hit the area that people goes uncomfortable. How come the fella talking like that? You know what I mean? Like right now, when I'm talking, I'm not going to talk to you like a business person who's going to sit down there and talk to you about all the, I'm not doing that. I'm being me. I don't care. You see. So what I do is that there is actually, you can push it. You can push your creativity. Now how to be creative? Very simple. Let me give you this word. Be crazy. When you are crazy, that means you're creative. So craziness is actually a virtue, So how crazy you can be? Go crazy lah, tak apa, jalan. But there is a place that people will accept. There is a place that people will never accept. Okay, that means if I were to stand here, let me tell you what you all won't accept. If I were to take out my clothes and talk to you right now, everybody cannot accept. Correct? That is cannot accept. But come a little bit closer to that and come to that edge. Come to the edge and be brave to test the edge. Why don't you be brave to test the edge? Why is the brochure again and again white color background? Why can't you do like Yadav, red color background? Why are you scared?
I'm little crazy.
Yeah, you're being crazy. Am I
Okay,
right?
fair. Okay.
So in a business, there are certain areas that you can be crazy and be creative. Number one is your cash flow management system. Why don't you go and look at the cash flow management system and do something new? Be brave to do something new and push the thing. Your marketing system. Why don't you be crazy in your brochure setup? Your your working system. Why don't you change it and reduce it in so many ways, so that it is very different? Why don't you change your product? Don't give me normal product, because everybody is coming out with the normal product. Be abnormal, be crazy. This is what I would like to say.
Amazing, Captain. Okay, is there any line, borderline between being crazy, being over crazy? Let's say, for example, as an entrepreneur, as a business owners, we already halfway through the journey. We already, some of that is proven system. We call it proven system. We already have a proven system, and this is working. Okay, this background is working. This one is already working. So, what is that one? Is there any limitation? Okay, this is where you need to stop being too crazy, or just go all way. How we go? What's the line there?
Okay, there is a line. There is a line, and it's important to measure the line. Okay, so for me, it's everything is about measurement. Now, problem is, you must understand, maybe everything is working right now, but according to design thinking mindset, we believe that any idea that you've been using right now, it's going to be obsolete in 3 years time. So your methodology, whatever that you're doing, if you're not renewing in 3 years time, is an obsolete idea already. So that is one thing. So why don't you change it? But how do you know crazy or not? First of all, you need to push yourself to go towards craziness, okay, towards the creativeness. If you're not pushing, so you push a little bit further. Why don't you sit down with your team and come out? I don't like this idea. I want a crazy idea, crazier a bit. So where is that line? It all depends on your instinct. Okay, there is an instinct. We all got moral compass, we all got moral compass. But the problem is, we don't want to come to the moral, the borderline of the moral compass. So push yourself, go to the borderline of the moral compass. When you're putting a picture, a brochure, put a crazy picture and then test it out. Don't put super crazy, don't put some kind of obscene picture all there. You need to put a picture that is normally you don't put, and then you ask your client, ask them, what do you think about this picture? They will say, yo, it's different. Do you like it? How would you rate this brochure? Talk back to your customer. And then, do you think that you can accept this? Yeah, I think we can accept. So communicate back with the customer and find out, because that is the best benchmarking you can create. A lot of people do this, they design something, they shock sendiri, and they think that is the best. And then they will ask their staff, nice or not? All your staff will tell you what, nice. Because you did it. The person who is going to test your idea and your thing is not your staff. It is your final end user. Be brave, go back to your end user and show them and test and find out. Then you will know where is your border. There's no hard and fast rule to find out. If you do this, there's the border. There is a measurement method, which is your customer, which is your user.
All right. So we have to go little crazy there when we want to innovate. All right. The next question is how to increase the confidence when we want to innovate. Let's say in our marketing, we want to innovate, and you say that let's get crazy. But confidence is one thing. Okay. Let me dive into this. How to get that confidence? How to dive into it? Is there any okay, just go for it? Everybody say just go for it, but when a lot of things at stake, So you have to think twice or three times. So going crazy, but how to improve the, how to get the confidence to go crazy.
Okay. First of all, if you are doing a crazy project, make sure you have a structure. If you don't have a structure, it's like getting into a dark room without any torchlight. You into the dark room. Dark room must enter. Okay. First of all, don't be fearful to enter the dark room. But you are fearful to enter the dark room because you don't have a torchlight. Why don't you have a torchlight? Okay. When you have a torchlight, when you open the door, you at least can see a little bit nearer, probably a few meters. Okay. So, oh, I'm entering into this. So first of all, you need to create a structure. Now, how to create a structure? This is the story. Now, every design of a marketing process, product, there's a place, there's a way to create a structure. We call it, actually there's a word for it called the affinity technique. What is an affinity technique? Let me give you an example. I'm going to take this phone and I want to redesign this phone. First of all, I'm going to dismantle the phone into certain category. There's one category called the screen, the second category called the back part, the third category called the camera, fourth category called the what we call fingerprint, thumbprinting, the fifth category called the volume. You understand? So I take it out into category. Okay, that's the first thing. Every time you're designing anything, every time you're coming out with a process improvement, take the process, break it down into category. When you break it down into category, then you can see, okay, this category, I'm not going to touch it, but I'm going to touch this category. So you go into the category. Let's talk about the video in the marketing that you want to do. Now, let's say if you want to create the video marketing, there's the first category, which is called the capturing people's category, which is that few seconds you need to capture the people so that people can stay hooked on to you. Okay, so that's why I talked to you about my ship captain story. I didn't talk about training story first. That few seconds you capture that market, that is one. Then you need to talk about the content. In the content also probably got three categories. One is what is this? How is it useful for you? What are the range? What are the price? Probably those are the categories. So break it down into category. Then go to the storyboard of that category and start innovating crazily. Currently, I'm using this and use this question. What if there are actually 7 methods that we can do to be crazy. Actually 7 crazy methods we can use. I will talk to you later about the 7 crazy methods. One of the thing is called combination. I take one combination of this idea and fit it together. That's called one of the crazy category. So design according to the structure based on categories. And then you fit it back. When you fit it back, then you look at the thing, will go, wow, this is a better video. So step number 1, break it into categories. Step number 2, go to each category and come up with as much crazy idea as possible. And don't do it alone. To be crazy, you must have other crazy people. So bring your staff, bring your team, and tell them in advance, today everybody going to be crazy. Let's be crazy by designing it. So set the stage. And then be crazy first. Don't ask questions, be crazy, come up with the design. When you're fitting back, that is the time you do fine-tuning. This is where we need to push further. This is where we need to stop. So that is how we become crazy. And in this way, you won't be fearful because you are looking at every single category and you are going one at a time because there's a structure. That is how you do it. I know some people say, do first, we think later. Yeah, I understand that kind of motivational word, but I'm talking about structural methodology, you see. So in my training, when we are doing designing, that's what I will do. I will make people understand that we're going to be crazy, but they will be crazy when, in the beginning, they'll say, oh, Lama, you don't know our company, when we be crazy, my management won't accept. But I tell them, never mind, let's get into it. Let's put a structure. When they see the structure, they'll be more clear. this is where I'm going to be crazy, this is where I'm not. So that is where they are more clearer. And when we are going into the structure, you'll become more you can go to it with your own pace and you design things.
Fabulous, fabulous sharing. So let's say, for example, we are going to be innovative in our marketing, yeah? And then let's say we are doing traditional marketing. Now we want to innovate into video marketing. And then to do that, we have to break it into category.
Right.
We already decided, number one, we already decided from traditional brochure, we are moving to video marketing. So you have to decide which area of your business that you're going to innovate. That's step one. Step two, once you make your decisions, go to that particular category. For example, video marketing. Why you are doing that? You are doing that for brand awareness. All right. So you need to come out with who is your target audience. Yeah. So that's one category. And then how are you going to record this video? Can I do that? Like how are you going to record the video? That means that's another category. So we are going to go for different category. And then every category, we have to get a team. And then we're going to go crazy on this category. How I'm going to make it different or make it better. Is that correct, Captain?
Correct. So it's there are three different questions you can use when you are driving it. Let's talk about the video lah. Okay, let's talk about the video. When you are doing currently, what is the video like? Okay, so how can we make this video better? That's the first question. Okay, how can we make this video better? And they will come out with some ideas. We can do like this, we can do like this, we can do like this. This is called concept planning of the video, because before you design a video, you'll be doing a concept planning of it, right? So, okay, I think we can use this concept. I can use this concept. Then you do this. What else we can do? You use the second type of a question, which is called what else? What else we can do? Yeah, I think we can do this. Give me more crazy. Can do this, can do this. Then you go, what if we do like this? Push the creativity by being crazy more, by asking, what if we can do like this? Then you will push that idea, from the beginning to the next level, to the next level. And then you will be multi-voting to test, okay, which one do you think shall we go? Everybody will be going up already, they'll be very scared. No, we can go here, this one more safer. No. And you will know that this is not safe at all. I understand there's something that is not safe at all. Don't go to the not safe at all. So bring it down to a level that, I don't know lah. When people say, I don't know lah, what's going to happen? Somebody telling that, wonderful already. You understand?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. If somebody said, I don't know lah, what if something will happen? That means the inner voice talking already,
Whether this will work or not, am I putting the right step or not?
Why don't you go? No harm trying. What?
Okay, Captain, especially innovation in business here, like we'll still stick to the case study of video. I think this is fabulous because video marketing is booming, like video is the most viewed contents online right now. So I think this will be an excellent case study, yeah? So we stick to video. So let's say, for example, Captain, you say that when it's come to innovation, let's say I'm the founder of the company. So I'm making a decision for the company, for my, shall I get into video marketing, for example, yeah? Do I have to go alone and innovate, or I need to bring team? So you already say we need to have more people, yeah? Don't go alone, bring more team. So my next question is, do we normally in a business we call it like-minded people? Do we really need to get like-minded people, or only from the team, or anyone, whether they agree with our idea, whether they disagree with the idea, but bring them in so that we can see what's happening? What's your take on this? Like-minded people, or get everybody, those like your idea, those against your idea, so we can fine-tune what's working?
Okay. You need to have a cross-functional team. That means the team who have diverse background, okay, and diverse behavior or characteristic. A lot of people thought everybody, we are like-minded, it'll be wonderful. But the problem with the like-minded people is everybody is trying to jack everybody, Nice idea, lah, macam. I tell you, very good, lah, This is a problem, okay? You shouldn't have that, okay? When there is a very important thing that we need to have where there are people who really disagree with you. It's very important because that disagreement is called provocation. Now, for your information, provocation is mother of innovation. Why? Because of provocation, we are doing the Zoom call, COVID-19 provoked us so much. If not, I'll be meeting you. You understand?
Yeah.
We won't have this innovative methodology, the provocation. So, it's better to have a team that is working on the innovation together. So you need to, first of all, you need to set the team properly. That means all this team have the same interest in this innovation design. So they must be a partner of this innovation. It cannot be done in a free way because they finally will have something that is holding back behind them. So make sure you bring them on board. Tell them, okay, would you like to join this innovation process team? And when they say yes, it could be your partners, it could be what we call mutual partners, doesn't matter. It is not supposed to be your company people only. But when you bring this team together, make sure the team is cross-functional. I don't want to have another Captain Arriva, no point, because I don't want him to think like me. See, I want to tap into every person's brain because the problem with me is I don't know what I don't know. If I know what I don't know, I will find. But I don't know what I don't know. That's the problem. So Yadav might be seeing certain things from that point of view. And I want to make sure I want to see that point of view. So that's why I need to bring the team that has cross-functional, that come from diverse background. And also, if you are the person, you know something, but if you are agreeing with me all the time, you won't tell. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that is why I need somebody to create provocation. Somebody must tell, yes, Captain, but then, these people who use this, but then, I love these people because at that time, these people will see somewhere that I'm not seeing. Mm-hmm. So I need that type of people. I need people who are positive. I need people who are super negative. I need people who are very critical, who will be giving you so much data. I need that. I need people who are very creative by going further and further and further. I need all these people so that the idea is wonderful. But how to handle all these people? That's where you need to have a proper creative leadership methodology to handle all these people together, to integrate their thought process,
mm-hmm.
so that you can come up with a wonderful idea. How to integrate? You need to have a structure. You don't have a structure, you cannot integrate. So that is how.
Okay, that's bring me to my next question, Captain. Let's say we are building the team. We already decided we're going to get innovate in terms of video marketing of the brand. Yeah. So the second thing is, if we are going to get people in, that doesn't matter. They're going to come out with some objection and so on. But if, let's say, you are the brand owner, you are the founder of the company, you're coming out, that's like your own baby. So when you're coming out with something new, and when people give something, objections, what kind of mindset you have to tweak? What kind of internal mindset you have to tweak in order to accept that objection and rejection and see and then see it from which angle. Okay, all this going to go at the end for the benefit of the company. So how we handle this resistance from the team members?
Okay, first of all, even with my team, when I do some innovation process, I am the director of my company. But then I would love to switch my mindset with the idea of one word, which is called, it's not whose idea is the best idea. It is what is the best idea. You understand what I'm saying?
Amazing. Amazing.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's not whose idea is the best idea. It is what is the best idea. So finally, it's supposed to be the idea, not the people, because nobody can design an idea by themselves. It is somehow or rather a combinatory of some people's wisdom, which is somehow or rather triggers another person's brain, and it is never a single brain process. It's a connected brain process. So don't be egoistic with your idea. You may be the owner of the company. You shouldn't be egoistic with the idea. It is what is the idea. You might never know that the idea that is created, it's not because of one person's creativity. So there is another thing when you're innovating. First idea is never the best idea, but it is an important idea. Okay. Because from that idea, you can start innovating better methods, So the problem is people, just because you got an idea and people agree with that idea, no. You need to set these two principles right, which is, first is people, it is not whose idea is the best idea, it's what is the best idea. Second principle, first idea is never the best idea, but it's an important idea. And from there, you can move on to the next idea, and finally design it. With this mindset that we have, I can tell you, you can design something dashat, very powerful. Very so good. In our thinking process also, we will have this. This is another culture that we have when we're designing. We will never criticize others' ideas. Criticism is never allowed on others' idea. We take that idea and then we work further on top of it. It could be as crazy as possible. So we like to use this word fantastic idea, even though not fantastic, fabulous idea. Okay, let's see from that idea what is the structure, or what is that main thing we are looking at. And we take that idea and we will put on the board, on the whiteboard and the paper, and we will move further from there. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a structure that we use to make sure every idea is counted. So don't criticize others' idea. But see, the human brain is very wonderful. We like to criticize people. We criticize other idea in the market. We like to mock people's idea. Let me tell you, we like to kuto. Kuto is our fantastic thing. So we'll take a calculator and see, look at this calculator. Which coconut is this calculator? We kuto the calculator, and from there we get excited. What else we can do with the calculator? Like that. We will mock the existing idea so that we get the energy to design something new. So these are the 3 or 4 things that we have.
So this is basically to build innovative culture in a company, yeah? These are the things that we have to take into consideration. Amazing sharing so far, Captain. So I'm going back to the previous sharing about innovation, the 7 crazy methods. Okay. We are eagerly waiting because we want to learn that. Which one is it? 7. Innovation, you said that there are 7 crazy methods, yeah? So it'll be amazing. It'll be great if you can share with us the 7 crazy methods.
Sure. All right. I use this in every single innovation methodology. Probably you would have heard about it, but you didn't know that some of the crazy ideas are designed because of the 7 crazy method. And this method is called SCAMPER. 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 Okay. SCAMPER stands for 7 different methodology. Okay. S stands for substitute. That means, hot dog, right? Hot dog was designed based on one of the crazy idea using substitute. Okay. How did that happen was in 18 something, I'm not sure which year is it. Hot dog came to America. It's actually originated from Germany. Hot dog came to America, and they were selling hot dog on a plate, and people were eating using gloves. But when the market rushed into this place because it was something new, they had a new problem, which is there is not enough plate So they wanted to substitute plate. So what they thought was, one person was the person's the business owner's brother was a baker. So he said that, why don't we use bread? That's where the hot dog bun came into the picture, you know. So substituting the plate with bread, now we are all eating hot dog with the bread, and we're paying more. And that is the idea that he used with substitute. Same like, you know, air fryer, the Philips air fryer was designed because they substituted oil. What other method to use that? That's where we substitute this. So first method is called substitute. Second method is called combine. This is the one I told you just now. Your phone, remember our phone long time ago was just SMS and calling people. But right now you have a camera, you have a video camera, you can do so many things. You can use internet. What they did was they combine all this thing into one platform. So you can combine, you know, when you have opposing idea in your team, fantastic. Take his idea, take this fella idea, combine it and see how. So in that way, your idea is there, your idea is there. You understand what I'm saying?
Like a la carte, take your and then match it.
And then match it. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, sometimes we go to the burger stall in front of 7-Eleven. I'm not talking about McDonald's. I'm talking about in front of 7-Eleven. That is the best burger you can get, you know. And you can customize it. They call it burger kawin. You can have burger kambing and ayam and kawin together. This is called combined. So you can fusion, you know, nasi lemak on a pizza. See, combine. You understand? So you can combine anything. So be crazy in combining. I tell you, when you're doing this crazy part, I tell you, it's going to be full of energy, you know, because everybody will be laughing, enjoying doing the combination method. So second one is combine. Third one is called adopt. What is adopt? Adopt is very simple, you know. Copying from other industry or other people. It's like copying other methodology. That's called adopt. Let's say you have an idea which is not in your industry. Okay, it could be like, let me give you an example. McDonald's, right? If you were to see McDonald's, how come they can do a very fast process? It's because they copied production plant methodology and they brought it to the outlet. That's why they are faster in finishing up their product rather than other places. Okay, so that is called adopt. So adopt means copy from some other methodology and bring it here, and sit down and go and look for how did the other people did the video. Go and check. Don't just check Malaysian video. Go to Thailand video. I tell you, Thai people will come out with wonderful creative video.
Absolutely amazing. The short stories, you know, award-winning short stories. Yeah. They are very creative.
Creative, right? But why are we not doing? Because one thing, fear. Fear people won't accept. Buat lah dulu, just do first lah. Later we see lah. You'll never know. It will hit. It become viral. Am I right? So that is the thing. Adopt from here, adopt from there. Don't just, you see, your internet is so wonderful right now. You can go and get a lot of idea around the world. You can go to Italy. Let me tell you, Italian got a lot of ideas. India is one of the best in video making also. Video advertisement could be crazy. They go crazy into this thing. Malaysians are still discovering. They're going inch by inch. No, go. Okay, so called adapt. Then we call M for magnify. Let's say you're taking a picture and you wanted to do something. Don't just take a picture just like that. Magnify the picture. Why don't you go close as possible to that? Okay, you want to do Kentucky Fried Chicken or fried chicken, right? Go close as possible to the chicken and take the picture of the smoke coming out. Wonderful.
Wow.
Magnify, magnify it. So that is how you magnify. Magnify can be bigger, can be modify it to become intensive. So probably one of the video you want to show crying, purposely intensify the cry. let the color cry naturally, and that will affect, you know. So that's called magnify. So the next one is put to use. Put to use is like, what else I can use for this video? You see, sometimes in a video, sometimes you have a lot of blank screen. You just think that. Why don't you put your logo here? Why don't you put another person's logo there? Why don't you put subtitle? Why don't you put another video on a video? You see, and test it out. See whether it can work or not. Why don't you put a GIF in a video? That is called put to use. Any empty space in anything, you put to use. Okay, that's where behind a taxi you will see there is this thing called jobstreet.com, you know. And in our car also sometimes we put a plug up BFM, brake faster macha. The fellow will put like that, you know. And all these things, they're actually using your car to make their advertisement, you know. That's called put to use. Then E, eliminate. This is one of my favorite. Eliminate unnecessary things. If you were to see there are too many people, eliminate it. Try to put only one person and see. Eliminate the sound. Eliminate the people. Don't put people. And see and try and see which is the best idea that is suit. So eliminate is another one. You see, most of the business right now, they've already eliminated it. Like Lazada don't have a shop, you know. And they are the biggest shopping complex in Malaysia right now.
Yes.
Everybody going inside there.
Especially during COVID-19.
Oh, yes. And Grab, they don't have a taxi, but they are the biggest taxi e-hailing service right now. So eliminate it and see. Crazily, let's eliminate this. Let's see what happened. Find it out. And the last one is reverse.
Okay.
Why can't you reverse the whole video?
This sound like real crazy idea.
Correct, no?
Yeah, never thought about it. Yeah.
Why don't you reverse the whole video? If you're using certain product, like I'm not sure about iMovie, but in Filmora, you can reverse the whole video. And then, you know what I mean?
Okay. From ending to beginning.
From ending to beginning.
At least you can capture your audience attention. It can be like a 16-second video. Yeah, why not? Yeah.
See, suddenly we got a crazy idea. Today, somebody can do something with their video, correct? But again, when I'm talking about reverse, everybody say crazy fella. See, when you say I'm a crazy fella, I win already today. Because I triggered your brain to think a little bit differently. Why don't you reverse? So scamper, S for substitute, C is for combine, A is for adopt. Adopt means you copy from somewhere. M is for magnify, P is for put to use, E is for eliminate, and R is for reverse. Or rearrange also can. You can rearrange the back come in front go to back, center is differently. Something
all this still in the innovation stage, right?
Yeah.
We already bring in creativity here?
Yeah. While you're doing it, you will be using creativity. It's like when I say reverse, right? Then you'll be thinking how to reverse, Then you'll be creatively taking the video and then putting it here. You see, creativity is part of the imagination, you know.
Imagination, correct.
Innovation is a process, but creativity is the imagination. When I tell you to reverse, you went to the imagination, am I right? And that imagination, why don't we do that? And then you do that. That is the creativity part.
Very good. Okay, so my next question, Captain. See, innovation there, it's a process. You're going to execute, so you're going to find, and I can share one simple stories. Last time when I asked my staff, I sent a document, asked him to type it back, and then JJ managed to find a software to just scan the documents and then capture everything. They're becoming creative, not to save time. It's just that they find a way, okay, how I'm going to do it quicker. All right. So I think that's where the creativity can come to the picture. It's like, what is the the first thought that pop up when you want to do something, instead of turning down the thoughts, just explore it. Can I say that?
Correct.
All
Yes,
right.
exactly.
All right. All right. So, Captain, how to nurture creativity as entrepreneurs? How we can nurture creativity?
Okay.
Is there any way or any methods that we can implement or that we can kickstart first? Now a lot of people are listening to this, going to listen later. So how and they can tap onto creativity to nurture creativity? Is there any activities?
So let me tell you,
Mm-hmm.
actually human beings are born creative.
Mm.
Compared to any other animal in this planet or
Mm-hmm.
any other living being, we are the most creative being in this planet. That is why the monkey was there, the fish was there, the dog were there, the horses were there, but
Mm-hmm.
none of these animals have ever created a kingdom, like
Mm-hmm.
what we have. We have created a lot of infrastructure, we have designed so many things, and we have gone to a different level.
Mm-hmm.
So creativity is actually inbuilt. Now this creativity is all because of imagination. Okay, so there are three things that is going to make sure that a creative idea is created, or that you can nurture your creativity. Number one, the first dimension is called the imagination dimension. Now our kids right now, the school system that we have, I don't know, I hope it changes, but it never got into the imagination part. It is all memorization part. So people tell you to memorize. I think the most imagination you will have is the arts department for you to draw something. That one also, people will tell you what to draw, and they will already show you what we call that exam standard of drawing. So this is not going into the imagination. So first of all, imagination is the core about this thing. Now the imagination comes in because of problems. Whenever we see a problem, we always started to imagine how to solve it. So for that to happen, you need to start looking at things in a different perspective. Okay, now when problem comes in, how to imagine properly, I have this word that I use. I will first say can first, and
Canvas.
then can. I first say can, C-A-N, can. Then I think how. I don't say cannot, I always say can. So whatever problem also, when it comes to you, to allow the imagination to work, say can. When people say your business is going to go, you will never get any client, and you say can, I will get client, and I know you wouldn't have any idea yet, but say can first, can, and then you go and think how. So this is the first mindset we need to have in imagination. And if you were to see, there will be a lot of other problems coming in, again you say can first. Okay, now next, how do you find the how? This is where, for you to understand things, there is a lot of knowledge outside there. I want you to go and start looking at that problem and look for the knowledge. Go to YouTube, go and find out how people do. Go and sit down and watch Discovery Channel on their interesting engineering. If it is going to be marketing, go and consume as much marketing things that we have. Another thing, they had a lot of Zoom call for the past, the COVID-19. I know some of it was, oh my God, I know this information already, but never mind. Just join the Zoom call. Maybe one word will trigger you. I'm not sure. So any ideas, if you were to go out there and you consume the information and the imagination, remember this, information and imagination, when it clicks, Until then, look for the information. When the information and imagination clicks, you will get inspired. That is the baby. But the problem is, a lot of people are staying in the imagination and not going to the information. Or a lot of people consuming information without having a prior imagination. So my idea is, get into problem. Go look at your current process, go, look at your current process and find out how can I improve this. Don't just stay normal. Look at your current way you're doing brand awareness, and then start by telling, I'm going to do a campaign in improving my brand awareness. We're going to redesign our brand awareness. Something, use the word, something crazy. I like this word. Today's word is crazy word lah.
Yeah, sound good.
Something crazy. So now imagination already started, but you don't know what to do, right? Go to the internet, go and talk to people and get that information. Now information, imagination coming already, right? While you are going there, you got a scope, and then it will like connect. When it connects, you are inspired. Now the third part, this is the most powerful part. This is the part that everybody fails. They already connected with the information, they already got imagination, then they have this issue called fear, the attitude. This fear is where it's gonna stop you and come back to the normal and say, never mind lah, this one working what? It's okay lah. So to nurture creativity, you do these two things, and the third one, start doing that thing and come out with the 30-day plan. In the next 30 days, what is my plan? Take a piece of paper, take a paper. I tell you, I'm a person who is very much into innovation already. Take a piece of paper, write down what are the things to do list that I want to do in 30 days. While you're doing this, let me tell you, while you're doing this, you will be feeling the scaredness, oh my God, I'm gonna die. When you're telling, I'm gonna die, that is good. Because you're gonna die. Because you're pushing already. Push your creativity, write down 30 days plan. And that 30 days plan, every week, 30 days is 4 weeks, every week sit down and measure, are we going to the correct direction or not? As long as you don't do it, the fear still stays there. See, the only way to fight the fear is not praying. Some people do that. Hopefully, they'll do this. Hopefully everything good. No such thing. This one won't work. I already tried. It didn't work. What works, you know what? Get into it. Write down the 30 days plan. It will give you clarity. Start immediately. I'm into a creative project right now. A very big innovation project, which we are coming out with the new learning platform. And immediately when I got that idea, I got that information, I already designed the whole process, and we already started doing it the next day. You're not supposed to wait for the planet Saturn and planet Jupiter to come in one line for you to do things. Today is the right day. Start. And when you do that, you are moving towards the direction, and I tell you are locked in already. Why don't our friends who are listening today get a project? Come on. When you get a project and you start doing one project today, not tomorrow, hello. I know Sunday is Father's Day, but don't worry about the Father's Day. Today, take a plan and start doing. And I can tell you, you will go to the wonderful direction and you will design something new. And you'll be somewhere one day.
Amazing, Captain. You see, the project can be their business, right? Their own business, yeah. Right now with COVID-19, unprecedented, situations. I see a lot of business are closing down. A lot of people are struggling to pay rents, bills and so on. Yeah. So instead of giving up, yeah, I think this will be an amazing. Okay. Take a look at your business as a project. See how you can innovate. Captain, that was amazing point. The point number one, say can first. To be honest, for the past 2 days, I was working on a project too, and I was like little overwhelmed. I feel little overwhelmed with a lot of things I have to work on it, and by the time we share, what's the big deal? Just say can first. Then I figure out the how. I've done this before. I'm sure you guys, we all done this, yeah. as we know, we do a lot of business, we've done this before. When the problem arises, but this is powerful. I never heard anywhere. I never heard it anywhere. Say can first, and then the can will, the trigger the out. Is it? The can will guide us to find the out.
The can will somehow or other open your brain, because when you say cannot, you're already shut. So you say can first, open the brain, and then don't wait. I say can, ready will come. No such thing. You need to say can, and then you go to that source, go and look for information. When you do that, the how will come. It will come. I still remember there was a time I was on board ship. Let me tell you, one of the most craziest moment we have ever had in my life was, we were in the middle of the ocean, Pacific Ocean, off Tuvalu Island, which is somewhere around Fiji, and the engine breakdown.
Wow.
The ship that I'm talking about is about 200 meters in length, and the engine broke down. And when the engine broke down, for us, if you want to call for a help, it takes 15 days for the ship to come to help us, because that far is it. So what we did was, you can't have helicopter. Some people bring a helicopter. Hello, in the middle of the ocean, helicopter cannot go. Their petrol is not enough. So what we did, the chief engineer was stuck. I was stuck. The captain was wonderful. I still remember this word was mentored to me by my mentor. His name is Captain Louis Enko. We went to the captain and we said that this is very difficult, captain, because the ship is rolling, and then the engine is big because the piston is about 5 floors high. How are we going to solve this problem? Captain said one word. Mr. Arriva, Mr. Thomas. Thomas is the engineer. Say can first. I say cannot, captain. The ship is rolling. No, say can first. Thomas, this is crazy, captain. We cannot do. We will die. Say can first. Can. Say can. And I say can. Go. Think how. That's all he did. But how? Go and look at all the things that you have and say can. Just keep on saying can, you'll come up with an idea. He just did that. And you know what? We found out that idea. We created some kind of a new engineering platform in that engine room to make sure we can pull out that piston in a very stable way while the ship is rolling, Oh my God. Say can first, then think how.
Amazing. That means when there's a problem, when you say can first, when you push your limit, I think your mind will expand, expand it. It will guide you to find the solution. Yeah.
Right. People already gone to moon, and we are complaining about not enough money. Hello, come on lah. Am I right? Elon Musk want to go to Mars.
And he's planning more things right now.
and we are complaining. My mother don't want to talk to me. Come on lah. There must be a creative way to do this. You understand?
Yes. Okay, Captain. You see, let's say right now, like those who want to innovate, they already decided, like you say, can first, they decided to get into this. But is there any steps there to take into consideration to reduce the mistake or to avoid the mistake? I don't believe we can completely avoid the mistake when it's come to the space of innovation. We can't completely avoid the mistake. But what is the mindset we have to get into, or we have to set before we get into innovation? Like, okay, in terms of mistake, I don't want to make a costly mistake or something like that. How to handle it when it's come to mistake?
This is a wonderful question, Azab. Okay, let me tell you. There are 3 dimensions in innovation. Okay, just now I'm talking about creativity. Now I'm talking about innovation. There are 3 dimensions. Dimension number 1, it's called the people desirability. Okay, that means if this design that I'm going to do this, is there a need for user? What is the need for the customer? And what is their real need in that? Okay, so that is called people desirability. Second, it's called technical feasibility. It must be technically feasible with the current technology that we have. Any design, any idea can be done within the realm of physics, law of physics. So as long it is within the law of physics, you can design anything in this planet. Okay. Number third, business viability. Will this idea reduce costs or make money? You need to know this. So before entering into the design, why don't you, first of all, go and see your customers or go and see your user who've been using already this idea, who are using this idea long time ago with other customers. Sit down with them and survey or interview them their need. What is the type of product that you want? Okay, so don't go so general. So you need to be very focused. If you go to a customer and ask them a very general question, which type of food you like, the fellow will tell you so many different food. So better than that, you go and ask them, okay, let's talk about nasi lemak. So when you talk about nasi lemak, very clear already, nasi lemak. Tell me your experience, you eating your best nasi lemak. So he will tell you his experience. While he is talking about the experience, write down all the experience. Then the next one. What is the worst nasi lemak you ate? He also got this experience. Write down all this experience. And then you ask him, so what is the few things that you really need from your nasi lemak? So basically, you're sitting down and making sure you're getting all the data from the user. Now, the problem with people is they're designing ideas without talking to the users first.
Based on their perspective, yeah?
Yeah, because I know user doesn't know everything. Like Steve Jobs designed iPad. He's not designing the iPad based on the customer what they want, because nobody knew that the iPad existed, But he studied in a different way. How would you like the content to come to you? What are the things that you like to see? How big do you like to see the video? Or something like that, From there, they decoded and analyzed that need and came out with the design. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's all about going back to the customer. But you do not need to go until to that innovation. Current product also, go to the customer and ask them, what are the things that you can improve? What do you want? Find out their need. Okay, don't find out their want, find out their need. Okay, it's called the need analysis. Okay, so that's the first thing you do. Second thing, see, is there any other design had been created in this planet? And then copy lah. Let me tell you, there's one word that I used to use in my class. The word copyright means copy is right. You understand what I'm saying?
I use excellent remodeling.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, we all are the same page.
I always use the word excellent remodeling. We are not copying, we are just doing excellent remodeling, just innovate a bit.
Correct. No need to reinvent wheel. People already create wheel. Just take the wheel and then remodeling. Yeah.
Fabulous.
Remodeling. So look at that. You see, so many design already created already. Just take the design and then customize it to the need. When you customize it to the need, wow, you're going to get a wonderful product. And make sure there are technical feasibility. Can this be done with the realm of physics, law of physics? Can it be designed? Can it be done? Most of the process system, no need to worry. It is in the law of physics. But when you're designing products, there are something which might not. You see, some people like to do this teleportal, where the body will be shrunk into pieces and then go to another planet. Currently, the law of physics doesn't allow you to do that unless and until you find some kind of methodology. Technical feasibility. Third one, business viability. Calculate. A lot of people comes to me and then ask me, Captain, how is this idea? Is it good or not? Very simple. I'll open my spreadsheet. I have a thing called the cash flow projection and the NPV modeling. That means net present value modeling. I will sit down with them and I will do NPV modeling to see in 3 years' time, will you make money or not? It's very simple to calculate, I know some of you might not know that. So you can get certain consultant to sit down and find out, will this idea make money? If you can do it, if you have the knowledge, why don't you do that? And when you do the modeling, you can see already, this idea is a wonderful idea. when you're doing the business modeling, right, you will see what is the threshold that you need to put in the costing, what is the threshold that you need to put in the product development. With this technical feasibility, will the product development part work? Will the costing be right? If the costing is like this, can I price it like this? All these things can be done. So if you do the whole thing, why you need to worry about risk?
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes, that means you already done what you're supposed to do, yeah? What you're supposed
Correct.
to do before you get into it.
Yes, correct.
And then if
My
still...
thought is this, I got one more thing. Everything got a risk, lah. Driving a car is also got a risk. It is so risky, that is why you hold the wheel. Controlling the wheel, the risk must come to, the risk is being what we call substituted with control. So make sure you have a control. How to have the control? These 3 dimensions.
That's absolutely amazing, Captain. Yeah, I think this can be a takeaway for them, before they get into innovations. So we are nearing end of the session. Before my final questions, I also know a little bit about, about you, that you have experienced the Bermuda Triangle. Yeah, the Bermuda Triangle, so not everybody will have the experience, go closer to the Bermuda Triangle and experience that. And how this experience shape you? I mean, what are the one takeaway that you can take, how that experience inspire you to be a better innovator or, better creative person? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So one big lesson that I learned from Bermuda Triangle. You see, I passed through Bermuda Triangle 7 times.
Amazing. one thing that I fascinated since I'm young is the Bermuda Triangle. When I see that, wow, Captain, like you are. All right.
I would like to tell you the real thing about Bermuda Triangle. If you know where is Bermuda Triangle, is between Miami, Florida, Bermuda Island, and also Puerto Rico. There's a place called Virgin Island. And the area is quite big as South China Sea. And personally, I passed through Bermuda Triangle 7 times across the Bermuda Triangle. Some people say you passed the tepi lah, by the side. No. I was passing inside the Bermuda Triangle. And for your information, when you fly over the Bermuda Triangle, it takes about 2 hours to fly over the Bermuda Triangle. On board ship, you stay there 1.5 to 2 days. I was in the Bermuda Triangle for 2 days. And actually, inside Bermuda Triangle, I'm going to tell you, the first time when I entered Bermuda Triangle, I was 19 years old because I started sailing at the age of 18. And when I was passing through Bermuda Triangle, I was very scared. I asked people, they are not giving me enough information because they want me to experience also passing through Bermuda Triangle. When people talk about Bermuda Triangle, everybody said that people will get missing. I'm still alive. Hello. The one over here is a real life person, still alive. Actually, Bermuda Triangle, there's nothing crazy about Bermuda Triangle. I'm going to tell you something they're going to make you feel, like that. There's no such thing as Bermuda Triangle for your information. There's no such thing there is, sometimes you see in the YouTube or Facebook, they will have this tornado, the water sprout. There's no such thing there. There's no such thing as magnetic pool. Hello, magnet is wonderful there. There's normal magnetic field there. There's no such thing as another dimension. No such thing is normal dimension. But there are tornadoes there. A lot of tornadoes. So many tornadoes that comes in. So because that is the thing that made me scared. Because when I entered Bermuda Triangle, I saw 7 tornadoes, coming down from the sky and then goes down to the water like a black cobra, just like that, and then it sucks the water like that. That is what you can see in Bermuda Triangle. And sometimes you will be there, most of the time you'll be always there, 2 tornadoes, 3 tornadoes, and people will be thinking, see something there. It's the tornado. Actually, it's not there. It's around that area, Mississippi area, New Orleans, Florida, Gulf of Mexico is a prone area for tornadoes. So probably these tornadoes are the one would have broken down small ships, not big ships. Big ship, can get missing anywhere. Even South China Sea big ship got missing. Aeroplane got missing in our area also. So it goes missing everywhere. So does this tornado do anything? Nothing much. So what is the learning that I have in Bermuda Triangle? Do not accept whatever people say. It's so important for you to go and find out, research yourself to find out the truth. Because we have these three things, that stops our brain from thinking properly. Number one, we are very biased. Just because Discovery Channel showed in Bermuda Triangle, everybody will believe in Bermuda Triangle. Just because one Maha Guru would have told, I'm not going to tell who is the person, but one Guru would have told that there is the reason why the Bermuda Triangle is there, where there are volcano eruption below the water. There's a total BS. Okay, there's no volcano eruption down there. Okay, underneath the seabed is very clear. And don't believe in people just because National Geographic is there. We are very biased, very biased towards certain people. So first of all, be bias free. Be in the middle. Don't be left, don't be right. Be in the middle. While you're doing the innovation process, also be in the middle. Don't be biased because that is your favorite boss. That is your favorite person. No, don't be biased, number one. Number two, strive for accuracy. When you're looking and when you're going to the customer and asking information, find out as accurate as possible their need. Don't listen to other people telling that according to my understanding, the customer is like this. No. Find out accuracy. Strive for accuracy. Number three, be thorough in your thinking. Don't just look from one point of view. Look from every point of view. This is why you need to have a team. You have to brainstorm with the team. Don't brainstorm yourself. So again, be bias free, strive for accuracy, and be thorough. These three things this is what I learned from passing through Bermuda Triangle. After I researched and I found out Bermuda Triangle is not true.
Fabulous. I think you already answered my last question. You see, for those entrepreneur or aspiring entrepreneur who want to get into the space of innovation, creativity, maybe they want to innovate their business. What is the one takeaway that you can share with them? Just one takeaway.
Okay. The most important thing is this. Everything that you have designed and everything that is in your office and in your business is required to be improved and innovated. Every single thing. You might have a customer relationship management system. It needs to be improved. You might have your sales system. It needs to be improved. You might have a script that you're talking to your customer. When did you create that script? Probably 10 years ago. It needs to be improved. Your office needs to be improved. Your system needs to be improved. Every single thing needs improvement. Go to that thing and dig out everything and start looking at that thing and improve. That is one very key takeaway. And please use the methodology I taught you. Say can, think how, get into the information, and start by improving one thing in your office, one thing in your business. How do you improve your business? Money coming in. I know this is the pressing matter right now. Let me talk to you about the pressing matter. Now, first thing you need to understand, you might need to shift the source of money that is coming into your business. Currently, the problem is the source of money that is coming into your business right now. That source shut down already. That source, even though they love you, they like you, they're not giving it to you. So why don't you explore another source that you can make money? Probably you are a trainer. Probably you are a consultant. Change the source. Come out with the product where you can go and make sure people can pay you. Explore that area. And when the source is probably plugged in, wow, you're going to get a stream of income already from there. Your problem is right now, the source, the Pili IA got problem already. You understand what I'm saying? I hope I'm making things clear.
Very
Change
clear.
the source. Change the source. And then you can improve that, you can innovate new system from there. So start by looking at where is the problem. First say can, then think how, go and find information, be brave, write down 30 days plan, and start doing tomorrow, immediate as possible, and measure every week. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, whoever who is listening to us today, I will 100% tell you, you can be somewhere much more grand and much more crazier and much more powerful in just a short period of time. And me and Yadav will come and see you at that time. We're going to share a wonderful moment together. And we are very eager to see you all at that top. That's what
Fabulous, Captain. Fabulous. I think a lot of people are saying everything. Thanks for a great sharing. This is from the Facebook Live. Yeah, a lot of thumbs up for you. And Captain, if let's say the audience, they want to connect to you, they want to follow your journey on social media, how they can connect to you?
Okay, I'm in Facebook. I'm in LinkedIn. I'm in Instagram. Yeah, these three things. Okay, so there is 2 platforms that you can find. My Facebook, there is it is called Wealth IQ Net, WEALTH Net. That's the what we call, that's a platform. Or else you can go to our website, www.wealth-iq-network.com, and then you can follow us. We already have our LinkedIn page there. We already have our Facebook page there and Instagram page there. Also, you can follow me. It's capt.ariva, captain.ariva. You can just Google me, captain.ariva. You will find some place and you can connect with me. There's only one captain.ariva right now. So it's a very unique way you can find. You'll meet me already. I'm very happy to be connected with everybody here who's listening.
Amazing, Captain. I will be sharing your social media link later. And Captain, I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge you for your patience, to share about creativity and innovations. It's almost like more than 1 hour. You are so passionate about. So I'd like to take this moment to acknowledge you for that. Thank you so much, Captain. I really appreciate. There's a reason why I want to get you as the first person that I'm interviewing for the first episode, because you are such a big inspiration for me, and it's an honor to interview you.
Inspire
thank you so much, Captain. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Yadav. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be in your show, and I love to work with you because we inspire each other, and I hope the sharing really shift people's mindset and paradigm so they can start becoming a more innovative and creative people, because creativity is everybody's birthright. If you're not going and using it, lost one opportunity. And I believe that everybody are so powerful and so creative. And thank you so much, Yadav, for you to take this topic, because very few people will take this dry topic to make it into a show like this. And you are crazy enough for you to do that. And thank you so much for bringing me on board. It's a great honor and a pleasure to be on your show. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Those who are watching, thank you guys. I really appreciate this. And I'll see you guys on my next episode. Until then, stay safe and be healthy. Thank you.